Hello, welcome to this game review. We'll have a look at a somewhat easy game for white in the England Gambit. And in general, once we understand how to play against this rather dubious gambit and not lose in the first 10 moves, then usually white's positions will always be winning or close to winning. So let's take a look. Black played this kind of, we could call it variation. Usually the point is Queen e7. And a quick rundown on what's going on here. Knight f3, knight c6, and we can play bishop f4. And the only thing to know is that after queen b4, we have to firstly not blunder the bishop, and then also not play queen d2, because here after queen b2 and for example queen c3, there's bishop b4. So this is the first trap. And after this, bishop d2, queen b2, knight c3. This is the most important move. The point is not to play here, because then we will play, well, black will play bishop b4, and the problem is that in this position, unfortunately, there is mate in one move. So this is basically the classical trap of the England Gambit, but if we just play knight c3 here, white is basically winning the position already, because black is terribly developed. He has moved around his queen a million times, and white can take advantage of the badly placed queen. What black played here doesn't make any sense. Now knight f3, d6, white can take this pawn. The only point is that after knight e7, black just assumes that we are stupid and impulsive and we will take the knight. But the point here is bishop f2, and black wins the queen here. But this is quite easy to see if we think for at least 4 seconds, which white did. He played e4, which is fine, other moves work as well. And now black just is a pawn down, and he is not very well developed, and white is basically close to winning. Bishop c4 is fine, white castles, and at this point white can even win the game already by some interesting tactics, starting with knight g5. Here the threat is queen h5, because this would attack h7 and f7. h6 is the obvious reply, and here the point is that white takes here. Of course, this isn't just giving up 2 pieces for a rook. The point is now that bishop f4 can be played, and this queen is not defended, which means this pin will be lethal. For example, bishop c7, now white plays queen h5. And now if the queen goes to defend the rook, we will take the bishop, and later take the rook as well. So white is just winning already. But okay, this is quite complicated. Instead, white pushes e5, which is fine, but this kind of creates a weakness. Now exchanging queens, which is also fine since we're a pawn ahead. Bishop g5 is nice, developing with tempo. Rook e8, knight c3, and at this point black could kind of equalize with knight f5, point being that here he can slowly try to take this pawn, and black has the bishop pair advantage. But after knight g6, black takes this pawn, and here white has some nice tactics to win material, for example like this, and rook fe1. This is a lethal pin, and after knight d7, the only move to defend, we could play rook a d1, and our point is that we're threatening to take here at minimum, and we're also threatening f4, because now black will not have this check and then save the rook. So white is winning here. And rook a1 was played, which is fine as well. And black takes on f3, which makes sense, but unfortunately this gives black a lost position. He should have tried to develop his pieces, as black is completely undeveloped. But now after gf, both the bishop and the rook are hanging. Black takes, and now look at this lead in development white has. The doubled pawns mean nothing. And now black takes here, and white smartly inserts this check. King h7. Now white can even take this bishop, and after black saves this one, we can see that black's position is basically hopeless, because he will never be able to develop these pieces, and white can also take this pawn and start attacking the king as well. But this is fine. Now bishop f5, and from here white could just take this pawn, winning a pawn and also having a huge lead in development. Black is basically a rook and a knight down. But this is fine, exchanging the last active pieces, and now white is just completely winning because black has no pieces in play and he can never develop them. So from here white decided to give checkmate, which is in general a good idea.